Money, money, money. Mild steel or stainless steel in flood protection?
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast to the protection against heavy rain and flooding by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
So the big challenge is, how can house owners like you and me get a flood-free home? How can business managers like you and me get a flood-free company? And how can public servants provide flood-free critical infrastructure and livable cities?
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe. This podcast is for foresighted and proactive people who do not want to shovel the muddy water out of their room while standing in the midst of the disaster.
Therefore, those who design and plan, the architects and engineers, need to construct such buildings and cities, and that even when the entire environment is completely flooded. That is a challenge, and this podcast will give the answers.
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
Yeah, welcome to another episode of Flood Protection Secrets. Today we are diving into a topic that's crucial, yet often overlooked, the choice between mild steel and stainless steel in flood protection. It's a decision that's not just about materials, it's about economics, durability and safety. As we unpack the pros and cons of each, you'll see why this decision can be as much about the money as it is about the metal. Let's talk about durability and performance. And then we dive into how these materials stand up to the elements. Stainless steel boasts superior corrosion resistance, an essential feature in flood-prone areas. But how does this translate into performance and longevity? We'll explore real-world examples where the choice of material made a significant impact on flood protection efficiency. So, beyond cost and durability, there are environmental and safety factors to consider. How do these materials fare in terms of environmental impact, and what are the safety implications for both installation and long-term use? The segment will provide you with insights to make an informed, responsible decision, because at the end, it's about money, money, money. If you decide for flood barriers and then you have to decide, is it mild steel or is it stainless steel? So making the right choice, that's the question. And the question now is, are you a business owner? Are you a governmental official? Are you a homeowner? And who has to choose between mild steel and stainless steel? That's quite critical. And let's talk about that. Normally you might say, why is Andreas Klippe speaking about steel? Because he's always telling us that these demountable flood barriers, they are made by marine-grade aluminum. That is correct. But the posts, the vertical posts at the side, left side, at right side, where you attach the flood barriers to your building wall, these side channels, how we call it, they are made by steel. And if there is a flood barrier that is longer than, let's say several meters, because it's not really handy, it's uncomfortable to carry these long spans with you. So who wants to carry a 5-6 meter long flood barrier span? So that's why you divide it into the 6 meters, let me say, into 2 times 3 meters or 3 times 2 meters. And in between the barriers, you have to insert not a side channel, that is only for the wall, but that is a kind of middle support, and this middle support you attach to the ground, to the foundation, with some anchor plates, with some anchoring systems. So these vertical side channels and middle supports or corner supports. If you have a flat barrier at the fire exit door, for instance, so then you cannot attach it flat to the wall from outside, because then nobody can open the door anymore in case of a fire and nobody can get out. So you will install it. It's a kind of U shape or C shape. Yeah? And then you need corner supports as well. So all these vertical supports, they are made by steel. And the question is, should it be mild steel or stainless steel? So normally they are made by mild steel, and then they are hot dip galvanized to be more attractive and that they are not roasting. That is one thing. However, the hot dip galvanization sometimes is not enough, and then you want to have it in stainless steel. Think about the following example. You have an entrance to a 5-star hotel. Yeah. So, and normally that is not only one single door. Normally you have double swing doors first, and then you have an entry and an exit point. So you talk about the whole facade, because normally these entrances of big hotels come with glass facades that you can have a look to the beautiful lobby inside. And at this moment, we talk about not only the protection of a door of, let me say, the opening width of 1 meter. We talk about perhaps 10 meters or 20 meters. But even when you say, okay, we only have a double swing door, only one double swing door, nothing more, so 2 meters, then let's give it a little bit extra. So let's say the opening width is 2.50 meters. And you want to protect it, and let's protect it with demountable flat barriers. And you don't want to drill these hilty threaded sleeves. You want to use a ground beam that is always flat and even, and that it is good looking, and it fits very well to the beauty of your hotel. Now, once again, that is an example from a 5-star hotel. Then this ground beam that you embed into the ground with embedded anchor plates, and on this on top of these embedded anchor plates, you install your middle supports in case of a need for your flat barriers. What did I say for 2.50 meters? There you don't have a middle support. That was stupid what I've said. But for longer lengths, of course. So, but for the 2.50 meters, you also want to have a ground beam, and then you will certainly choose stainless steel because it fits more to the beauty of your hotel. And the costs are not the most important things at this moment. Once you have a longer span, I mentioned the 10 meters, then you have middle supports. Perhaps you have 4 middle supports that gives you 5 segments with 2 meters each. And these middle supports must be attached to the foundation. And for that, you use anchor plates. And to avoid that, you install these anchor plates step one by one. You embed them together with the ground beam, and you embed the whole ground beam with these anchor plates into the ground in front of the hotel. And that can be installed very quickly in one night. So it's very easy to install that. And when everything is well prepared. And then, of course, you would decide for stainless steel because it's simply better looking. In case of mild steel, hot dip galvanized mild steel, it's also good looking. It's also okay. But that is a hotel. That means people are getting in, people are getting out. You have these trolleys, suitcases. That means with the wheels. So there's always wear and tear. And that is after a while, you will have some parts that becomes black. So some black dots on it because there are so many people stepping on that. And that is not good looking. It's still okay. It's still functioning. And that is not completely rusting, but you have some small dots. And that is what you want to avoid, because it's a 5-star hotel. That's why you decide for stainless steel. And now let's turn back and go to the basement parking. If you want to install similar barriers in front of a basement parking entrance, then you can decide and go for mild steel, because nobody cares about First, there is not much wear and tear because that is rubber. The wheels of the cars, of the vehicles, are made of rubber, so that is not doing any harm to these ground beams. And even in case that after some years there are some small dots on it, black dots, nobody cares. That is only an entrance to the basement parking. And once again, these small dots, they don't do any harm, but hot dip galvanization is not forever, and it is only a protection at the surface, at the upper microns of the material. So, and now the big question is money. What's the price difference? Sometimes people are asking for a quotation, and then they want to have a flood protection quotation, and the project shall be executed and carried out in 6 months or 9 months. And then I'm always smiling because I said, nobody can give you a lump sum price for a project in some months. The price for stainless steel is varying on a daily basis. And it is an up and down. So you can never know exactly. So you can only estimate the things. That means you must be very careful with budgets, because stainless steel is a variable. And so be careful with that, and consider it already for your budget. Not that when the day comes and you want to proceed with your order, suddenly you run out of money because nobody was thinking that the price for stainless steel was increased in the meantime. And what's the difference? So the difference can be a factor of 3. So that means when you consider a solution in mild steel and you consider a solution with stainless steel, that can be a multiplication factor of 3. So that is already serious. So think wisely. But once again, it is not only the price. In my example from the 5-star hotel, of course, I think it is a no-brainer that you go for a stainless steel solution. Whereas in front of a supermarket, for instance, you can go for the hot dip galvanized mild steel solution. That is still okay, even with many people getting in, getting out every day. But we don't talk about beauty at this moment. In front of a jewelry shop, of course, you must have the best material you can have. And when you go for an automatic system like these Anham automatic flip-up flood barriers, and then perhaps you take powder-coated side channels in beautiful design, in the color of your shop, perhaps in a nice white or light brown or light green, or whatever the color is. So then you have extra costs for the powder coating, but it's worth it to do so because it increases the value of your building, of your entrance. And what you want at the end of the day, you want to attract people to get into your shop and spend the money and make you rich. To spend their money and buy something. So that is what you have to consider. Remember, in flood protection, every decision counts, from the materials we choose to the money we invest. It's about finding the right balance to protect what matters first. That is why sometimes when people are asking for 25 entrances for a building, and it can be that the material at some entrances is different. That means it doesn't make any sense that the purchasing director is asking for, give me a price for stainless steel and give me a price for mild steel. First, that is very difficult to do with stainless steel thing. And very often it doesn't make absolutely no sense because it is not logical at all. So that's what I wanted to share with you. You can save a lot of money and you can find the right solution, but choose wisely. And before we part, here's my golden nugget for you to ponder. When it comes to flood protection, the true cost of a material isn't just its price tag. It's measured in its ability to stand the test of time and nature. Whether it's mild steel or stainless steel, the real investment is in peace of mind, knowing that your choice today will safeguard you tomorrow. So choose wisely, not just for your budget, but for the enduring safety and resilience of what you hold dear. Remember, in the realm of flood protection, the right material is not an expense, it's an investment in a secure future. That was a small outlook to money, mild steel or stainless steel and flood protection. We talked a little bit about the costs and the quality. And thank you for joining me on Flood Protection Secrets. If you found this episode enlightening, don't forget to subscribe and share. Your support helps spread vital knowledge about flood protection. And until next time, stay safe and make informed choices in the flood defense strategies. Stay safe and flood free. I wish and hope for you that you make the right decisions when it comes to your personal flood protection. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast channel if you haven't already. Now it only remains for me to wish you a good day, do something with it. Maybe until the next podcast episode, I would be very happy. See you then. As always, stay safe and flood free. Your Andreas Klippe and the whole Flood Experts team.
That's it again with the new episode of Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe, German engineer, book author, and head of the Flood Experts. What can Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe protect for you? Anytime? Worldwide? Contact us or just click through to www.thefloodexperts.de/bonus. Detailed engineering, German quality, safe. Flood protection secrets. The secrets you'll want to unfold.
Don't forget, you're only one flood barrier away.
Subscribe to the season, and you'll never be late for an episode.